My name's Mark.
I am Tom, and I'm back from part 2
of the Saturn product review, number 2 of our 2-man show. So we're looking this week at Phoenix Ashes.
Yeah, which you know I've been very excited about since we saw it.
Yeah, that's right, by David Blanco. And we have Extreme Burn by Richard Sanders. Not new, but an old one, which I'm going to look at this week. Something else as well, which isn't new, but I'm going to look at this week, is Ring Flight Revolution from Dave Bonsall, and also Departure by Magic Smith. So, moving on to the first one, David Blanco's Phoenix Ashes. Tom, what's that all about?
Phoenix Ashes is a new way to reveal, it's an ash on skin effect basically, so whereas the old way you could reveal a word or an image, this one is a way of perfectly revealing every time a solid image that looks exactly like the ripped half of a playing card. So you know you're going to get the exact image every time. Card selected by a spectator and then ripped in front of them, and then you can burn the whole half of the card using the ash to then reveal the fact that you've got half their card on their arm. They then get to keep the other half as a souvenir. So it's fire, happens right in front of them and they get a souvenir. So for me, it's perfect.
Okay, well let's have a look at it, shall we?
Should we do it?
Yeah,
let's do it.
Let's do it, Dave.
So I won't bother performing it to you. Let me just show you how it works. So you get the card selected. You could fold that in front of the spectator. None of this is dirty because they get to see it all, so it can be taken the time. And if you ever ripped a card in front of a spectator, Mark, you know the sort of effect the reaction that gets anyway. People just are not used to people burning playing cards.
The fire element is obviously, I think some venues might not be too pleased.
Yeah, you have to. You have to be very careful with fire. You don't want to be doing that. That's probably burnt too much. That has burnt too much.
Okay, you've just burnt half of the card.
Yeah, so you know what I said, you get to give it to a spectator.
Okay, so you burnt the card.
So you burn the card, and then you just take the ash. Ash will be warm or hot, but if you're used to working with fire, then you know what you're doing. Without making too much of a mess, you just have to remember where you put it and just gently rub it. And then in front of them, you get that sort of solid reveal.
Yeah, and then you can offer up the other half of the card.
Show you that card of the card.
Side of the card. In the demo, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then they get to keep it. There's actually more that you can get the digits and stuff to come up. It washes off instantly as well, and now that's on there, it doesn't come off. Like you could put a shirt jacket over that, and you wouldn't have to worry about it getting it. So there you go.
Okay, so what do we think about it? We've got, actually, if we talk about the DVD stuff.
Talk about the DVD, yeah.
It's pretty basic, isn't it?
Yeah.
The DVD.
DVD is filmed in Spanish, and then there's a Spanish translator talking over it, so it's English with a Spanish accent. 2 live performances, don't really differentiate between, they're just 2 different cards, basically, just so you can do it more than one card. They don't teach you any of the selection process to get the cards you needed to be selected. But anyone with minimal card skills will understand that. But yeah, they don't go into that.
They just show you the process for being able to set yourself up, basically, don't they?
Yeah.
And you have to do your own force. It's obviously a force. I don't think there's any big secret to say that it can't be any card. You've got to force the card.
There are 2 though. You get the ability to reveal 2 different cards.
As far as value, actually, some people have questioned the value of this. If I looked at, to do a quick search on the internet, if you had to get the gimmicks made yourself and got 2 of them, it would cost you a lot more than the cost of this trick. So the value is very good. The premise of it is similar to how it used to be revealed years ago. But years ago, you used to have to write on your arm and then rub the ashes on. and it was always a written reveal, as opposed to
never
what we now have
solid
as being this picture reveal, which is what makes this different.
Yeah, and also because of the gimmicks that you get, you could disappear off the reset, so wash it off and then reset with the other card in a matter of moments.
Well, we did say you could have one on one arm and
one on the other. Yeah, you could have it on your chest. Yeah, so
you could set it up absolutely anyway. So as far as scoring, if you watched last week's show, 5 is something that we work and we do it most of the time. 4 is something that you do occasionally, but isn't sort of in the number 1 set. 3 is from a point of view of the trick, it works, does it, but it's not something we're personally really going to consider doing. 1 and 2 you're getting pretty low, and you can gather that they're not very good. We're also going to bring in a scoring system for people that don't perform professionally, because a bit of feedback we had last week is that the scores we were giving were based on the worker that actually goes out and works these tricks, and the scores were probably heavily weighted towards, is it instant reset, is it practical, can you do it from table to table or group to group? And we thought, well, actually it's no secret, but they sort of say that 95% of magicians don't actually go out and perform for money. There's a lot of hobbyists and casual performers out there that don't really care whether it's instant reset or if it's practical from going from table to table.
No, if they've only got to do it once to show off to friends and stuff, then
yeah. So we thought we'd have 2 scores. One, the Saturn rings, based on a professional working magician's point of view, and stars based on someone that doesn't really matter. They just want to do the trick once and show it to a friend. Is it good for that, basically? So my score on this for Phoenix Ashes, I'm giving it a 3. The only reason I'm giving it a 3 is it does work. It does exactly what it says on the trailer. It's taught well enough, so there's no problem there, but it's not really me. It's not something I'm going to use. So it's a 3 from me. So how about rings for you, Tom?
It's going to be a 4. I'm not going to work it everywhere due to the fact that it is situational. There's not everywhere that I work that I can set fire to playing cards. But I am excited about doing it. I love the effect, so I will make time or find a location to do it. So if I'm working a wedding or a banquet, if there's people outside smoking, they'll be my audience. I'll save this for them and I'll go and see them. So yeah, 4 from that. The only thing we haven't talked about is it does say on the DVD that refills are readily available. You will definitely have everything that you need to perform this at home once you buy the DVD.
Well, you should have anyway.
Yeah, you should have. Yeah, don't. I'm a little bit concerned.
You may have run out. But
but
you're going to buy some more.
You need it. So.
Every house has this stuff.
So there's no extra expense. So yeah, 4 from me. Looking forward to working it.
From the star point of view, so where do we give this on stars? If it was a 5-star trick, then it would be one that you'd be clamouring to show people every single time. 4 stars, it's a pretty good trick. Again, does exactly what it says, easy to do, no problems at all. 3 stars, still a good trick, but sort of mediocre, and 1 and 2 obviously pretty rubbish. I would give this from the sort of hobbyist performer's point of view, I'd say this is probably sort of 3.5 to 4 stars. The only reason why I'm not sort of saying 3.5 is the DVD doesn't really go into an awful lot, and as a casual performer, those people might not necessarily be able to come up with a lot of routine ideas, so it would have been nice to have seen a bit more on the DVD in that respect, whereas the professional performers probably more isn't necessarily going to present it exactly the same way anyway as shown on the DVD. And they'll come up with their own ways of doing things. So I think sort of 3.5 stars. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I'm going to go towards 4 just because it does excite me, but you are right. I mean, as a performer, you don't look at it as a standalone trick. It's definitely a reveal. It's maybe the end of something, but to do it as a hobbyist or someone that performs to their friends as a standalone trick, the DVD could have been a little bit more insightful, a little bit more information on there, but it will do exactly what you need it to do.
Okay.
So yeah, I like it. I like it.
Right, the next one, Extreme Burn from Richard Sanders. This has been out for a little while. I'll say it right now, it's probably an all-time bestseller. I doubt that there are as many tricks on the market that have probably sold as many copies as this has sold. Originally it came out as Extreme Burn. Extreme Burn 2.0 came out a few years ago. because it gave your way of ending completely examinable at the end. My view on that is that the way I perform it, I don't need to be examinable at the end anyway, and it instantly resets, so I haven't got to bother resetting it afterwards. But again, where we're talking about a professional magician's criteria against a hobbyist or semi-professional person's criteria, if you perform for a lot of friends, then they are liable to want to examine the notes. So therefore, Extreme Burn 2.0
gives you that
ability to be able to do that. So it's certainly a big plus in that respect. We're going to put the video up on the screen. We'll talk you through a live performance in the bar. The sound's muted with me talking over it because it's very noisy in the bar again. So I'll talk you through the routine, and then we'll come back and give it a rating. Okay, so here we are in the bar. I use magazine cuttings. You see I'm opening up the magazine cuttings for them to have a look at and show them all around so they can see clearly what they are. They can see amazing illusion, as I call it, with these bits of magazine. Open them up, wave of the hand, and they change. So they change into $1 bills when I do it. I do it because it's cheaper than using £20 notes. And it's still an amazing effect because they've just changed from the magazine to that. Of course, they ask if it can be done with English money. I say no, it's an American magazine that I cut the bit of paper from. Of course, it's just an illusion as well because look, you wave your hand and it changes right back again. I use paper from Magic magazine, so you get nice pictures and imagery, and that's the story I use for changing the Magic magazine to paper and back again. Okay, so we watched the performance there. People are genuinely stunned by this.
Absolutely, yeah. You do it with paper to money, you can do it money to money. Dynamo made it famous with lottery tickets to money, but it's the same reaction every time. People just stop. Mm-hmm. I love watching you perform. I watched you perform it 3 or 4 times that evening because it's there, isn't it? It's ready to go straight away.
So from a rating point of view, if we talk about the DVD, there's, as Phoenix actually showed you very little, this goes on and on and on and on. You've got loads of
Richard
ways.
Sanders quality at its best.
You've got loads of ways this teaches you how to do it. So the handling, various ones are just easy. I found the handling that I like personally, and that's the one that I do all the time, but there's loads of different ones taught on there, so there's going to be one on there for everybody basically. It's just a matter of finding the one that you like. The score on that, I do this every time I go out working, so I'm definitely giving it 5 rings. And Tom?
The thing that we haven't touched on is it's quite a process to make it, isn't it? To get to the point you can't get it, you can't buy it today and perform it tomorrow. You'd want to take time to make the gimmick to do what it does. It has to be made in a certain way. Which put me off at first, but once you get it, as you'll see from the video performance, once you've got it, it's brilliant, isn't it? So put the time into it, practice it, and do it well. All the information you need is on the DVD, so it's got to be a 4 for me purely because it's all the information's there. I just don't perform it as often as you.
Okay, and now we're not into misleading people and say, just to go back to the making of the gimmick. I have had a few people say, I just can't make it. Because arts and crafts isn't necessarily for everybody. No. It's not a difficult arts and crafts moment, but some people just can't do even, fairly, I wouldn't say it's simple, it's a little bit more complex than simple to be able to do, but it is relatively easy. But one thing I have done here at Saturn Magic is if you want it making up, then I'll make it for you. Obviously you have to pay for the cost of the materials to make it up and a little bit of time for making it. But it is a stunning effect, so if you want to do it, you've got that option, you can get in touch and we can make it up for you. Yeah.
Really nice play.
That's right. The star rating for this, I've got to give it the same sort of rating, 5 stars, because it's a trick that, it instantly resets. It can instantly reset.
Instantly resets, ready to go again.
If you don't hand the notes out at the end, it does instantly reset. Otherwise, you've got to reset it, which would take you a few seconds to put everything back to where it should be, but it does instantly reset. It's not that difficult to do, lots of different options shown, so it's going to score 5 stars even from the amateur point of view. If
it's a trick you want to perform, that definitely everything you need is there. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the best selling tricks for a reason. And if anyone's seen the video footage and thinks, I want to do that, this will do it. There's no hidden secret. You don't add anything to it. That is the reaction that you will get from performing extreme burn. So enjoy it.
Okay, the next one, Ring Flight Revolution.
Another best seller.
Well, saying it has sold very, very well, and there's only one negative to this that we'll come on to in a little while.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's a fairly big negative, but it's not.
Well,
actually, let's get the negative out of the way. What's the negative with this?
The negative is the price.
Right.
But as we've discussed with the Dream Prediction last week, it's that price for a reason. It is the quality is there.
That's right. And if you work professionally, it's worth the money.
Yeah.
If you perform magic for friends and family and you want something that's absolutely amazing, that's top-notch quality, that's going to last you a very, very long time, then it's still good value for money.
Yeah, and it's not going to fail. I mean, when Dave Bonsall's got his name on something, you know it's good. The warranty that comes with it, and the build quality is unbelievable, isn't it?
That's right. Actually, Tom, you hold on to that.
Yeah.
Let's get a close-up of of what you get.
Yeah, it's worth pointing out you get these keys with it, which doesn't sound much, but if you're thinking that you only got this and thought you had to attach it to your keys, and then you'd have to have your house keys with you when you perform, but no, you get the whole lot. And then obviously the reason there's no badge there is it's customizable. So you get a whole load of different car badges to match your car, or to match the car that you wish you had, which is probably what I would do. I'd probably put on the Mercedes one and just pretend.
There's 13 in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
13 different ones. And you also get some different clips as well.
Clips. So whichever clip you're more comfortable with, or quicker at loading. Mm-hmm. And you get a replacement cord as well. And the instructions are on the DVD on how to maintain and look after it. So.
Yeah. So that's what it is. This is the generic version, which means you can swap it around. It is expensive. It's £110, isn't it? Yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know, the effect is basically you vanish a ring and it's gone from sight, and then it appears on your car keys that are on the
which have been in your back pocket.
And the spectator can then click it.
Yeah, the DVD that's included is very good. Dave's a master at this trick and teaches it very, very well. And I can't really say any more than that about it. Really, it's a superb package. The reason why we sort of thought about bringing this up this week was we also want to talk about this one as well, which is Departure from Magic Smith, which, if you consider that to be a Rolls Royce, this is a Mini. Because Minis are good.
Yeah, the Mini Minis are top quality.
Yeah,
so
there's nothing wrong with the Mini, is there? And this works. It's a lot cheaper. I can't remember the price now off the top of my head, but it's in it's early 20 something pounds. Yeah. So it's not that expensive. You don't get all the keys and everything on it like you do with Ring Flight Revolution. What I do, I keep the Ring Flight Revolution in my close-up case, get to a gig with my own keys, put the keys in and swap the keys basically, so I've only got one bunch of keys on me. This one's designed to go on your own keys, so you're carrying it around with you all the time. It looks like a garage sort of door remote control, which is fairly inconspicuous, and you can do exactly the same effect as you can do with Ring Flight Revolution. So why would you pay nearly £90 more for Ring Flight Revolution than this? Well, the quality, when you see the two items, is completely different, so you can see that for a start.
Yeah.
This doesn't lock. We didn't mention that.
We didn't know. So
with the Ring Flight Revolution, that when the ring is on the little clasp, if they were to pull on it,
wouldn't move.
Nothing.
So they can remove it from that one, whereas this one you
don't want them to pull on it because it would reveal what's going on. The reason why I mention this is, and the reason why we stock it as well, is one, it works and it's perfectly good.
Oh yeah, absolutely, you can work it.
So you can do it. If you're going to work it professionally, then you should be getting the Ring Flight Revolution without a doubt. Or even if you like the effect and you're going to perform it for friends, get the Ring Flight Revolution. What I do, and this is after the event because I've had Ring Flight Revolution for years, I carry this in my box as a spare. Because if ever something did happen, maybe I lost the Ring Flight Revolution or forgot to put it in my close-up case, or it's never broke on me, I've had it for years, but say things can break, say it did break, I'd be absolutely mortified because it's one of the strongest effects that I do. And now this is sitting in my close-up case all the time. I know that if that did break, then I've got a reserve to get me out of trouble. Also, if you've not done ring flight before,
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, to spend £110 on a ring flight is pretty serious money.
Yeah, you have to know that you've got the confidence to borrow a ring, to load it on, and then to do the reveal. And yeah, if you buy departure, you can have a practice in your own time, and you haven't wasted money if you don't perform it straight away.
Really like it.
Where if you buy this, as good as it is, if you're not going to perform it, it becomes a waste of money. So if I was new to magic, or even new to borrowed items, or just to having someone's ring in my possession, I would probably start off with the departure. Just because then you know you've got it, you know you can do it. And that means once you buy that, get the hints and tips off the DVD and you're out working it.
That's right. And then you've then got the departure as a spare, as I mentioned earlier. So it's not a waste of money either way. So it's a way that we recommend to get into the ring flight, which is basically one of the strongest tricks. And I'll mention as an extra here that after I've done to keyring, I then do it into a sealed envelope.
You do.
Using Harry Robson's instant reset wallet, so the routine carries on a little bit further, so the ring disappears twice and then appears in the wallet. But maybe that's for another review coming up soon. So, rating for this, I said 5. Did you give your score? Oh no, sorry, rating for departure. I'm going to give that 5 stars as well, actually, because it works. You could just use that. You haven't got to have ring flight revolution. Actually, no, I'm going to give it 4. No, I've got to give it a 5 because it's an effect that I do all the time. If you don't want to spend £110, then it does the job.
Yeah, because you get your download as well, don't you? So you get your tutorial with it.
Yeah, there's no DVD. We should have mentioned that, actually. No DVD.
No DVD on this one, but there is a download code. It's well made. You wouldn't worry, would you? You wouldn't use this and worry it's going to break. It's definitely well made. There's 24 inches? Yeah, 24 inches, 2 foot. So that's more than enough. So yeah, I'd give them... It's difficult because they do the same job and they both do it very well. It's just, you can't really compare them in...
It's unfair to mark one down just because it hasn't got a locking feature. But the locking feature, if I don't actually take advantage of the locking feature even when I'm doing ring flight revolution anyway, because if people touch it, and I just compensate with it anyway. It's a bit hard to explain without exposing too much. But I don't think it's fair to mark that down just because it isn't as good quality, because it does do exactly the job that it's supposed to do.
Yeah, it's well designed, it's well made. It's just not as well designed or as well made as the one that you pay extra for, which you'd expect.
So I think both of them deserve 5 stars.
Yeah, both of them deserve 5 stars. It's just different markets, and I'm quite glad that we've done it as well, because we've now looked at something from both ends of the market and both price points as well. Like, that's almost not a pocket money item, but it's an affordable item to practice with, to give it a go, whereas that is a high quality, expensive performance piece.
So both of them are getting 5 stars and 5 rings for me.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's it for this week. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
See you next time.